Just like top-down parsing can be parsed with push-down table, bottom-up parsing can also be parsed using tables. The two tables that we refer when doing parsing are action table and goto table. We always start by looking at action table, and action table tells us what action should be taken, and the two actions are still shift or reduced. If the action table tells us to do a shift operation, what we do is we will do a push operation. We push the input symbol to the top of our stack, and then we advance our pointer. However, if the action table tells us that we need to do a reduce operation, we need to look at the rule specified in the table. We pop up all symbols on the right side of the rule, and then we refer to goto table to get the symbols to be pushed onto the stack. So this is basically a replace operation. And then we retain the current pointer. So to repeat, if we do a shift operation, we do not need to refer to goto table. We simply just push the symbols that are stated inside the action table on top of our stack, and we advance to the next pointer. But if we need to do a reduce operation, we need to refer the specified rule inside the action table, stated in the action table, and we do a replace operation by referring to the goto table. So let's do a demonstration for an input pointer. So this is our input, var times var and marker. We're going to do a stack parsing operation. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use a template of empty stacks to make it easier for us, so that whenever I erase some of the inks, it will not erase the stacks too. However, for you guys, you need to draw your own stacks, so the empty stack tables will not be given for you. Okay, so let's start to do our stack parsing. So our input is var times var and marker. We start by writing the whole input on the next column. So what we need to do is we're going to read our action table by looking at the symbol on top of our stack. So the symbol on top of our stack now is bottom marker, and our current pointer is var. So we look at our action table, we look at bottom marker, and we look at var, and the cell reads shift var. So when it said shift var, so I'm going to write shift var here. So what we will do is we will shift this input string inside our stack. So we will get var, and then we advance to the next pointer. So the next current input pointer is star, and then var and marker. Next, we will read the symbol on top of our stack, which is now var, and the current input pointer, which is now star. So let's look at our action table. Var with star. So var with star is reduce 6. So I will write reduce 6 here. So pay attention on what we need to do when the action specified is a reduce action or reduce operation. So when it said reduce 6, it means at our grammar, remember we are referring to grammar 5, at our grammar we need to look at rule number 6. So at rule number 6, on the right side of rule number 6 is var. So what we will do is actually we will take out var from our stack. So once we take out var, our stack are left with bottom marker as the symbol on top of our stack. And then we need to refer to goto table. At goto table, we will read bottom marker, since bottom marker is now the symbol on top of our stack. And then we need to read factor, because factor is the symbol on the left side of rule 6. Therefore, when we read bottom marker and factor, what the cell will read is push factor 4. So write push factor 4 here. And now we will push factor 4 on top of our stack, and we retain the current input. We do not advance to the next input. Next, we will read the symbol on top of our stack, factor 4, with our current input pointer, which is star. So, factor 4 that meets with star, it will read reduce 4. So, write reduce 4 here. And then we need to look at our grammar 5. Look at rule number 4. And on rule number 4, the symbol on the right side of rule 4 is factor, which means we need to take out factor from the stack, and we are left with bottom marker as the symbol on top of the stack. And then we need to refer to our goto table. We will refer and we will read bottom marker, since bottom marker is the symbol on top of the stack, and we will read term, since term is the symbol on the left side of rule 4. So bottom marker with term, it will read push term 2. So I will write push term 2 here, and I will push term 2 on top of our stack, and I will maintain the current input pointer. We are still reading the input as star. Okay, next let's read the current the value for the next action table. Okay, symbol on top of our stack is term 2. Our input is star. So term 2 that meets with star reads shift star. Okay, so since this is a shift operation, this is very straightforward. We simply shift star. So this star will be shifted inside our stack. So we'll have term 2 star, and we advanced our pointer. So now our current input pointer is var. Since this is a shift operation, we do not need to refer to goto table. Next, the symbol on top of our stack now is star, and our current input is var. So once we go to action table, we will read star that meets with var. Star that meets with var reads shift var. So write shift var over here, and we will shift var on top of our stack. So we will get term 2 times var, and we advance to the next input, which is n marker. Moving on, at the action table, we will now read var that meets with n marker. So var that meets with n marker will read as reduce 6. So let's write reduced 6 here. And since this is a reduce operation, we need to look at our grammar. Rule number 6. So at rule number 6, look on the right side of rule 6. On the right side of rule 6 is var. What this means is we need to remove var from on top of our stack. So now we will have term 2 times, and then we need to read our goto table. To read our goto table, we will read the symbol on top of our stack, which is star here, and the symbol on the left side of row 6, which is factor, which is this one over here. So star, that means factor, it reads push factor 3. So I will write push factor 3, and I will push factor 3 on top of our stack, and I will retain our current input pointer. Okay, next. Next, we will read the symbol on top of our stack, factor 3. Okay, let me use a different color. Okay, factor 3. And the current input symbol, which is N marker. So, when we look at our action table, factor 3 that meets N marker, it says reduce 3. Okay, so I will write reduce 3 here. So what this means is we need to look at rule 3 in grammar 5, and on the right side of rule 3 is term times factor. What this means is this whole thing need to be popped out or removed from on top of our stack. Therefore, our current symbol on top of our stack is bottom marker. Therefore, at our goto table, we need to read bottom marker that meets with term. Since term is the symbol on the left side of rule 3, so bottom marker that meets with term, it reads push term 2. So I will write push term 2 here, and I will push term 2 on top of our stack. And we retain the current input pointer. Next, we read term 2 that meets with N marker at our action table. So term 2 that meets with N marker states reduce 2. So let's write reduce 2 here. And then let's refer rule 2 from our grammar 5. So on the right side of rule 2 is term. So what we need to do is we need to take out term from on top of our stack. So the symbol on top of our stack now is bottom marker. And then at our goto table, we need to read bottom marker that meets with expression, since expression is the symbol on the left side of row 2. So bottom marker that meets with expression, the cell reads push expression 1. So let's write push expression 1 here and push it on top of our stack. And now we need to read action table again. So we read, oh, please do not forget that we retain the current input pointer just now. Okay, so we read expression 1 and N marker. So expression 1 that meets N marker at our goto table now reads accept, which means this is now accepted. So this particular input symbol var times var is accepted by grammar 5, and we have demonstrated it by doing this stack parsing. So inside your slide, there is a longer example using the same grammar, same action table, and same goto table. So different grammar would have different tables, just like a different grammar in top-down parsing would have different push-down machine. And the same concept apply, just our stack are horizontal as compared to vertical in top-down parsing. And I hope you can understand how we can use these two tables, action tables and goto table, to do stack parsing and check whether a particular input is accepted or not for a particular grammar.